Hello everyone, today's Leetcode problem is Leetcode 36 valid Sudoku. It's a medium problem. So here's the task description, so that we need to determine if 99 Sudoku board is a valid Sudoku, and only the filled cells needs to be validated according to the following rules. So that each row must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition, each column must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition, and finally, each of the 3 to 3 subboxes of the grid must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. And also we have two notes here, so that Sudoku board could be valid, but it is not necessarily solvable. And only the fill cells need to be validated according to the mentioned rules, and rules are here, so that we don't need to exactly check this dots. We only need to check the values that we have. So before starting the problem, here's the Sudoku. Like we have 9 to 9 Sudoku, and let's assume that we have a number of 1 here. So if the number of 1 is added here, it basically means that in this row and in this column, and then finally this, and this, like we cannot have any 1 in this marked cells, so that we cannot have any duplicate in this column, in this row, and in this sub matrix. Basically it means that 1 in row 1, 1 in column 1, we can actually a little bit, oops, we can do like that, yes, and 1 in submatrix 1. And also we can do something like that for the submatrices as well, so that we have 9 submatrices in total, and we can group them by any name, so that this submatrix can be 0, 0 matrix, this can be 0, 1, and 0, 2, this will be 1, 0, this will be 2, 0, this will be 2, 1, 2, 2, it will be 1, 2, and this will be 1 submatrix. So that while we are storing the numbers, we can store them by their submatrices as well, because it will be much easier. And now, how to solve this problem? As you can see, it is much easier to store the numbers in this way, as a string format, so that we will know exactly the place of the number. And when we try to just store a new 1 in row 1, for example, in column 5, for example, in this case we will have a duplicate value because of this row 1. And which data structure suits this type of problem the most is the hash set, because it cannot contain any duplicate value. And when we try to add a new value to the hash set, it is basically returning us true and false. And based on this output, we can simply find whether the Sudoku is valid or not valid. So basically we can create a set string, and basically string is because of this part, 1 in row 1, 1 in column 1, and submatrix 0, 0. And we can give a name of places, new hash set. And now, as it's known, we have 9 to 9, 9 column, 9 row cells. So it's not meaning that we can create a loop such as I smaller than n and create all of n. Instead, we can simply create a loop I smaller than 9, and our loop will be basically O of 1 in this case. For integer I is equal to 0, I smaller than 9, I plus plus. And in this case, we only created the rows. In this case, we only have the rows. And now we can create another loop so that j is equal to 0, j is smaller than 9, j plus plus. Even if we have nested loops, it doesn't mean that we have O of n square time complexity. Instead, we have O of 1 because this will just execute it as like 10 times, and this will be executed also 10 times. So we will have O to 100, and like we can just simply turn this into the O of 1 in this case, as much as I know. And now we will simply use our set, but before using the set, we need to check only the values we have. And in our Sudoku, we also have the like simple dots, and the simple dots can make a problem if we just don't check them. So that first we need to check if it is dot or not. So if the board I say is not equal to dot, in this case we can continue, but if it is, we should pass this. And now we can do our check. If places dot add, and in this case we will do board, not board, actual places here as well. Places dot, not dot, I and j plus in row I, and we should put this here because it means that if it returns false, in this case it means that we already have 1 in this row, and it means that there is a duplicate value in this case and Sudoku is not valid. And the same thing will happen here as well. Places I j plus in column j, and finally places dot add places I and j plus in submatrix. And what I mean from submatrix is that one in submatrix 0 to 0. And how can we get the submatrix? Basically, we can divide the row or the column to the 3, because if you just divide 1 to the 3, it will give us something like 0.3, and according to the integer part, we will only take this part, which is 0. And we can use parentheses to make it much safer. We can have a dash and plus j divided by 3. And we can return false, because in this case, if any of this happens, it means that the Sudoku is not valid. And in this case, after everything runs well in this Sudoku, we can simply return true to the user as Sudoku is totally valid Sudoku. And when we just run the program, if there is no syntax mistake, as there is, we need to check what's the problem. Oh, actually there is a little problem. It is board, not places. Actually, I was correct. Yeah, you can see from here as well that both cases are passed, and when we just submit the question, here it is passing, and all of the test cases passed. So this is basically the valid Sudoku problem. If you just like my solving way, you can hit the like button, and I will try to share a new Leetcode problem every day, and bye bye.